could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me, yeah he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me, that's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. You poppin' bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we done got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the fence, they never coming home. Can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster. Ruger rap. Top gunner, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out.
How's everybody doing today? No, I'm a little early today. I usually do it around 5. We going a little early today. Some of y'all might be at work. Some of y'all might not. However, y'all might can catch it on the replay. But let's get into it, man. I got a lot of topics I want to speak about today. But we're gonna get right into this. I want to start off by saying this. Excuse me. It's a PSA I want to start this video out with. And I do this PSA here and there just to kind of like give an understanding on where I'm coming from. So I'm not going to do this at the beginning of every live, but I will do it here and there just to give an overall perspective on where I'm coming from on this channel, what my goal is. First and foremost, I have a lot of conservative views. Do I view myself as a black conservative? Absolutely not. Because I learned over the years, the black conservative movement is not about getting black people off the Democratic plantation, getting them out of the victim mentality, blaming the white man. That's not what they're about. Is there exceptions to that rule? Absolutely. But for the most part, that's not what it's about. They're about clout. And just like everybody else, they're about, and again, I want to be clear on what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be doing something and pushing forth the narrative that's trying to be used for change. You're not supposed to get paid for it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that what I've seen, what I've gathered over these 8 years on my conservative movement is a lot of these black conservatives seem like they got an extra grind with black people. And you look at them, a lot of them, most of them, you look at the Candace Owens, who I love her. And I used to have a lot of respect for her that I recently lost just for the way she handled the whole Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk situation. I'm not judging her. It's not my place to do so. But I will say that it's beginning to get a little weird at this point. But I digress. You know, they had one guy, I never forget, a couple years ago, um, and I'm not gonna really say his name, but he's a conservative voice, and they had a white guy by the name of Matt McClung who won the slam dunk contest, and he goes on his page and says Matt McClung proves black people wrong when they say white men can't jump, and just little slick shots, and you can clearly see him and how he looked. He was, and then he's from my home state of of Louisiana. He's from New Orleans, so looking the way he looked, I know he was like I say, you could look at Candace and see, just looking at her frame and just everything about her, you can tell coming up that her type of build, her type of look is picked on and bullied in the black community, and it's very wrong. And that's one of the things I do also want to change in our community of just the self hate if you don't look a certain way or if you smarter than everybody else, and just because you know how the smart kid get handled. And of course, Candy looked like she was the one who wanted to be real smart, but she wasn't the prettiest. Of course, she wasn't the finest, still isn't, and I'm sure she got bullied a lot. So a lot of these black conservatives, they're not trying to help black people. That's not what they're trying to do. They're cosplaying as trying to help black people while having that extra grind and getting black people back for the treatment. Because we know black people can be one thing about my people, they can be rough, right? And I just don't, you know what I'm saying? And again, it is exception to the rule. It is people like Chad Jackson, um, Thomas Sowell, which he's an older guy. It is one that actually do want to help. You can tell the passion that they have, that they're actually trying to help and change the narrative. They're actually doing that. And there's some other names I can name. I even kind of like Brandon Tatum. Um, Only thing gonna sit right, but I don't want to get off of his personal business. But Brandon Tatum, I would say, is somebody who is part of the solution. And again, this channel is solutions based, solutions oriented. This channel is pro truth. This channel is pro Christ. So a lot of things are going to be hard for people to digest. But I made this channel from the offset and all the way to now. And over the years, I've evolved in my thinking. I've evolved in a lot of different areas. I still have a lot of evolving to do. But this channel overall focus is to change the black mind, black women and black men, but ultimately the black men, because we are supposed to be the leaders of our community. And until our mind change, until we begin to turn back to God, not the preacher, not money, and all of the things that we worship and think that bring us happiness, until we turn back to the Most High, one and only God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, only then will we be given the wisdom to lead our families, and our women gonna begin to come back to us, and the children are going to get back in order. We made being a victim our God. We made the white man our God. And I'm gonna speak on all that later on in the video because you might not understand what I mean when I say making the white man our God. But and that's what this channel is about. And I give messages and speeches and lectures to really, like I say, aim toward black men. Again, this is a pro-truth channel. I mean, anybody can listen. But this is aimed toward the black man because the black man is the most disenfranchised, the most propagandized, the most led astray person in America, and it's not even for. And it's not even close because most of them are coming up without a father and they're being led by women. Our community, the black community, is the only community that is led by women, woman king. That's why when they made that movie, it had to be a black woman. Every other community is male dominant. Do they have single mothers? Absolutely. But the majority is male dominant. Men lead that community, not black community. And what the thing about the woman, she was not put on this planet to lead. She was put on this planet to be a help meet to the man. As scripture tells us in 1 Corinthians 11:9, a woman was put here for the man, not the other way around. And we know in the beginning of the Bible that God made Eve from Adam. God gave Adam Eve, or he wouldn't be long. He didn't give Eve Adam, right? We have to keep that in perspective. That the woman was put here for the men. So a lot of these women in our community, in the black community, this is why they're so angry. This is why it doesn't take much for them to set them off. You see them all the time. They look frustrated and overwhelmed, which they are. They're making the therapist rich. The drug dealers rich because they can't cope because they have been forced. And it's some bad decisions on their part too, but it's not all their fault. The man have to take the majority of the blame. To whom much is given, much is expected. You are the leader, you are the man, and guess what? I wouldn't choose it no other way. You know, people say, oh, only people is love. Only people is can be careless and can be is women, children, and animals. Oh well, guess what? The God chose the men. God is a man, and God chose the men to lead. So if that's God's way, that's God's order. Then it trumps everything. So that means the man got to take the bigger piece of the pie. But a lot of these women, going back to what I said, a lot of these women are in these situations where they're going to therapists 2 or 3 times, not 2 or 3, two times a week, 8 times a month, some situations. They're self-medicating. They're making big pharma rich with the antidepressants because they're overwhelmed. They're frustrated because they gave their vagina to men who didn't deserve it. Or I'm not even gonna say didn't deserve it, but yeah, they didn't deserve it because anytime a man leave his children, he didn't deserve it. And I understand. Again, I spoke in my video. Yes, I spoke in my live Monday, and there's videos all on my channel about parenting and counting the costs. A lot of times, these men, especially first-time fathers, they so excited to have a child, but they don't understand what this child is gonna be like when he get here. And even if they got money, just the having a human being that you're responsible for that's constantly crying off, even if you're good, this child needs your full undivided attention. And if you are a good parent, you have to put your life on hold for at least the first 5, 10 years. Because this child can't really do nothing without you. And I say 10 years because he still can't do nothing without you, but by 10, maybe he can start dressing himself. He should be dressing himself. And kids these days are smart. And so our black women and they're overly frustrated and they like this because they got all these children and no man. And then the children, they got to deal with that. It gets projected on them. And then they go out and they around other children who just like them. And people end up dead. This is why they always fight. It's just a mess. And I've dated these women before. And I know the internal hell that's going on in them that I've seen them project on the children. Because I didn't used to understand. I used to say to myself, how come every time black children get around each other, whether it's at the schools, whether it's at a fair, why is it them all? Nobody else does this. Nobody else does this. Do they have situations here and there where the white people might get a little drunk at the bar and fight? Yeah. But I'm saying it seems like every situation where black people is at is going to be some type of fight, shooting, or killing, and it's from the parents on down. I've even seen one situation the other day, and I've seen this several times. And even the woman that I've dated, they'll be fighting the children. They'll be fighting with the children, fighting other people's children. Right? Just and again, I can't really. I know it's wrong, but what who? But I showed y'all a video Monday where they had a little girl who was they had a little girl who was um handicapped, like she had cerebral palsy or something, and some children was jumping her in the bathroom. I also posted on my live Monday another video about a young man who somehow got lured into somebody's house. He was in the tub with a whole bunch of children recording him, beat, pistol whipping him. And you look at situations like that, you say, what if that was your child? How would you take care of that? And I can't say. I cannot sit here with a straight face as a man and go and tell you how I would take care of that. Because I would be so irate. And I don't know if I would be, like I say, again, man, I don't want to talk about it. But I'm just saying, You could sit back and judge and say, "Oh, she shouldn't have been fighting the children." Well, I would agree with you in saying that. But man, if you seeing your children get jumped or getting beat up, what are you supposed to do? And I mean, if it's a situation where it's just hand-to-hand combat, one-on-one, okay, maybe you can pull her off. You don't need to get involved like physically, but if it's somewhere my handicapped child, God forbid I ever have a handicapped child, but she been jumped and recorded, we got a real problem on our head. And so I just wanted to speak on that. But like I said, this channel is solution-based, solution oriented, bro. This is a channel where I'm trying to change the whole cultural mindset of Black people one at a time if I got to. And as my channel grows, the more I can grow and get this message out. Because this is a message that has to be spoken on. And see, the thing about it is, and another thing going back to the Black conservative, I'm a man of God. I don't consider yes, I have a lot of Black conservative views. I'm a Trump supporter, all that, but I'm not with the Black conservative group, because again, I don't feel like they're I just feel like most of them are disingenuous, and they got uh nefarious ulterior motives, things that just not. I don't think that their overall goal is to for the betterment of Black community. I think it's not. It's to empower and enrich themselves while having an extra grind on Black people, right? And because if they wasn't, they got the power. Some of them, especially the people like Canada, they got the power now to touch different people and bring people together in different parts of the world or different parts of the United States, set up groups, set up organizations to focus on that area. Because again, strength come in numbers, and certain areas and certain people not even getting to hear certain messages from Candace on. They won't get nothing but a clip. And the clip will turn them off so much that they'll be like, I don't want to deal with her. But they got people who I like. Shout out to the Candy Lou. I like the Angela Stan. She like she's confused. But these are people that's from the inner cities. These are people who Candace not going to no inner city. But we need to reach them too. We need people that's in those areas, right? To reach these people, to have conversations with these people and let them know what's wrong and give them a solution. See, that's what's pro-Black. You see these people like Jesse Jackson, and he died, and I'm not gonna speak on him in depth because again, all I'll say on his death is this: you can't rest in peace if you didn't live in peace. And if you know anything about him, he didn't live in peace. But when you speak about Black being pro-Black is wanting to see the betterment of your people, right? That's what you want to see. Not telling them that, hey, it's not your fault, it's the white man. Every time y'all have a get together or any type of y'all shooting, y'all killing, every single day children are being killed, Black blood, all kind of mess going on in y'all inner cities, but it's the white man, but it's Trump. That's the equivalent of having a child and saying, look, every time that child come to your house, from school, camp, family member, friend, wherever he come from is a bad report. He did this. He did that. He did, and every time these things are being reported to you, you tell your child it's not them, it's you. I mean, it's not you, it's them. That child gonna burn out. That child gonna burn out and be a bad embarrassment and reflection on you. And that's what Black people have become. And when you have Black people like myself, and again, I used to be part of the problem. I'm a XYN, which we didn't call it that back then, but that's what I was. And it cost me. And another reason why I make this content, another reason why I'm eligible to speak on this, because see, I was on the other side before. Most of these Black conservatives never was, and it's a good thing they wasn't, because I'm not glorifying this life. The things I did, I paid for them, and I'm still paying for them. Right? And I thank God that I made it out to sit here and talk about it. And I'm not doing time or dead. Because see, most of the dudes I come with, that's where they at. They dead or they doing so much, they got so much time they want to put it in the bag. Next time I see most of my homeboys, they're gonna have a cane. They take care of their health in there, which is possible. And so I come from that, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm an XYN. And I changed my life through God, not through conservatism, through God. God changed my life, not conservatism. I did 10 years in prison, and I'm speaking of my 10-year prison sentence. I will be bringing back the segment that I'm on. Instead of having, I used to do it a show, but I used to do a episode, but I'm gonna incorporate that in my live stream. I'm trying to see. I think I'm gonna do it on Wednesday, not today, start next week, but I think I'm gonna start bringing that back. It's two segments. That segment called Real Life Prison Stories. And the reason why I created that series a couple years ago, I don't know why I stopped uploading. I haven't been consistent, man. I've been so busy with other things. But this year I'm focusing all my attention on YouTube and I'm being consistent because it's not getting no better in my community. And it makes all of us look bad, even the ones like myself who is civilized and saved and a man of God. And so I will be bringing back this segment, Real Life Prison Stories, to let you guys know, to let your children know. Listen, this is not the route you want to go. I understand y'all looking back and y'all say, man, I go sit in prison. They got cell phone in there. They got drugs in there. My girl gonna dose me. All that may be true. The girl is not gonna stay there for long, but you gotta have cell phones and drugs and all of that in prison. Absolutely. But I can promise you that's not what you want to be in that type of environment with those type of energies. I can promise you that I did 10 years flat from the age of 17 to 27 in prison. I've been home going on 11 years. And guess what? I can promise you that's not what you want. So I will be giving real life prison stories, some that I was involved in, some that I wasn't. I think I had 3 episodes of it. But again, I will be doing that series again. Another series I will be um starting called Understand. Well, actually, that's a series too that I already had, and I'll be bringing it back called Understanding Women. A lot of our young men don't understand women, don't understand how to deal with them. A lot of our women, a lot of our women are in lesbian relationship, and they don't even know it because the man that they're dating is a woman trapped in a man's body because he had no father around, no uncles around, nobody around to teach him how to understand and deal with women. So I'll be speaking on that. I'll be using video from all kind of different people. I'll speak on it. I'll have my commentary, but I'll also be getting to give y'all that. That's 2 segments I wanted to add. That's 2 segments I will be start back um incorporating to my live stream, which is on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I mean Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that's all I pretty much wanted to say on my opening, man. My main focus, my main message, man, is not to beat up on blacks, not to pick at blacks, but to get our people back into a rulership mentality. Heal us of the CRTD, civil rights transmitted disease, which was passed on from MLK and the likes, and give us a healing. Give us a healing to the point where we can fix, because through God, with the help of God, we can fix ourselves. We have everything that we need. We have capital, we have freedom, we have influence, everything that we need. We can fix this. But we're gonna need the right people in the forefront to do it. The white liberal is pathetic. I'm gonna speak on those individuals later. The leaders that we have, such as the Barack, even though, and Barack Obama was the biggest to get because he was a president. He fumbled the ball terribly. Such as people as Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, all of these so-called black leaders are misleading y'all. But they are making y'all feel as though they care about y'all, so y'all support them and y'all consume their content and take it like it's gospel. And it's not helping y'all. It hasn't helped nobody. Nobody has been helping the black community. As a matter of fact, the black community has gotten worse. But I want to start. You guys know I'm from Louisiana. And in Louisiana, we have a festival every year. I've seen it. It's migrated now. They do it pretty much everywhere in the South. I see. I even seen in St. Louis they have it. It's called Mardi Gras. Um, excuse me. And Mardi Gras is a festival where we get together, and New Orleans is where, like I say, it originated in it nowhere is like New Orleans, because New Orleans they get real explicit and they do all kind of stuff for beads and the cake drop where they got the guys or people on top of the balcony with the cake and they drop the cakes on you for beads, or you know the women show their private parts for beads and things like that. And of course, my particular hometown, and this hit home for me. Let's go
That's
to
some
it.
pointed fingers.
Let's go to it. Um, in my hometown called Lake Charles, Louisiana, they had the parade as well. And last night, my nephew, who is 16, and his cousins, three of them, ranging from the age of 13 to 17, they attended that Mardi Gras parade. And it was a shooting. It was a shooting. It was two shooting, actually. One, a 16-year-old shoots a 14-year-old. And I don't know who the other suspect and person who got shot was. And you know, it just doesn't make any sense. Maybe I can see it. And actually, right now they live talking about it. I don't know what they're saying. Maybe I can click on it. We can listen together. Let me see, because I want to address a few things. Man, what's that? Damn, my stomach kind of hurt. What's that? Let's see if we can pull this up. Say they live, right? I don't know. And again, you know, I already told y'all why. We understand the why. You always got to find the why something is happening before you can actually find a solution. And I told you why. No fathers in the home. These women are overly. They overwhelmed. They frustrated. They project it on the children, and the children go around other children like them being raised in the same type of household. They project it on each other. For those of you are wondering what's going on with me and this snorting and messing with my nose, man, I got something called hay fever. And these allergies, this three Lake Charles shooting. Okay, it was three shootings. And in case y'all don't know, and this is just so embarrassing for these guys. We have a first black sheriff, and we have our first black sheriff, and we have our first black mayor. And this is the type of stuff that they got to go through.
Seeing that we had parades, we had large gaps in the parade. And like I said, we go back and look at almost 200 police officers. When there's a break in the parades, instead
Trying to see how I can get it to start from the beginning.
of they need to do. The people that's out there that had the guns,
Now,
I
this is the
appreciate
first.
that y'all took those people off the street.
This the
Those
first
are
black.
people
This
that
the
we
first
need to
black
focus
mayor.
our resources on. But the biggest thing is that we found that it's coming out at night. So we're going to look at, we're going to do our postmortem and come up with some analysis of what's going on. But we're going to get together with Mardi Gras, Southwest Louisiana, and make some proposals too. And when I say proposals, it doesn't mean that drives it. We make the decisions. But the first thing that we're going to look at is making sure that these parades wind down while it's still daylight, and that people have a chance to disperse, so that if anybody's out there doing any type of isolated incidents, that we've protected the families. I would prefer, and we did an analysis and saw that the latest Mardi Gras activities in Louisiana is in Lake Charles, the latest parade. And so we're going to look at that, because even in New Orleans, they'll do Zulu in the morning and immediately after that. And by the time it's noon, all of the focus is gone to the French Quarter. And we're going to start looking at that too, because we, like the sheriff and our officers said, we're stretched across the entirety of the parade route. And once it got dark, those resources are moving from one place to another, because things are just getting hectic out there. So we're going to address it from a timing standpoint. We're going to address it from a screening standpoint. Thank goodness we had eyes in the sky that was able to track this down, and a dog that could sniff out these weapons. But I'm going to also ask, and we're going to ask the public, if they see anything that's out of whack out there, that's anything that's not in place. A person walking around with a 30 round clip sticking out should be reported immediately, so that we can get those people taken care of, and let everyone know that not only is this a safe place, but that we're going to have no other place for this kind of activity. So with that, if you have any questions, please ask your questions.
You said that were for weapons or alcohol?
I'm sorry?
Usually you make 12 arrests.
Yes.
Were they just for like having the weapons or alcohol?
Some was for having weapons. Some was for disorderly fighting.
Any alcohol?
No, at Mardi Gras, I mean, it's probably the one time of year that we tolerate a little bit more as far as the alcohol. So, unless a person is just totally obnoxious and totally out of line, we try to find a friend that they're there with to say, hey, get him out of here. So we'll probably, towards alcohol, a little bit more tolerant at Mardi Gras than we would normally be at any other time of year. Now, we do have ambulances and everyone else staged out there, because the alcohol doesn't necessarily turn into any type of disruptive activity, but people have had too much, they pass out, and it becomes they're in a vulnerable situation. So we also have ambulances out there, paramedics, people that can treat people and make sure that they're not in an emergent situation from a public safety standpoint. And for our shooting, it just turned out that it happened to be two juveniles, a 16-year-old and 14-year-old, which is very unfortunate. I'm not sure of that. Well, we'll have to go back and reevaluate our planning and just look at everything. Everything is on the table. Once something like this happens, it lets us know that there are some vulnerabilities there. Not only did we have Air One up in the air, but we had drones up in the air, and it still happened. So yeah, everything's on the table. We're going to reevaluate everything. And the command center is strategically located in a place where we anticipate that we've seen other issues. So the fact that happened there shows the scope of those type issues. That you have a police command center, a lot of officers out there, and still we have this kind of activity. And the other thing is, part of our command center is not only is it visibility, but we want people, if they have any problems, to go to our command center and report it. I can tell you, we were fortunate enough to reunite 5 kids with their parents that just got totally separated. They're out there and they're partying, they're having fun, and sometimes they ain't always paying attention to their kids. And I know at the end of the parade route, we had a 5-year-old that was missing. We were able to reunite this 5-year-old with their parents. That's the purpose that we're there for. Like I said, I can't say enough about the partnership that we have with our area law enforcement. I mean, it just goes above and beyond what anybody can imagine our working relationship is. And it's for the best, because we're all there for one reason: to protect the public and make our public safe. Yes, sir.
With 12 arrests, 8 firearms recovered, in a time like this, large gatherings, what do you say to those who might be worried about, large gatherings in the future?
Well, I mean, there's always that possibility that can happen. You just never know what people are capable of. I mean, just this weekend on the news, I saw it somewhere up north where in the middle of a hockey game, they had 2 people that were killed and the bad guy shot himself. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad people out there that are doing bad things. Uh, we can't prevent every crime, but I can tell you, we plan and we plan and we plan and we do everything we can to keep our public safe. It's a partnership with the public. See something, say something. It we're going to continue to work hard and refine our plan and do what we can to make it safe. But I can promise you, we're going to continue to work at it. It's just important. It's important for the public to know that it is a partnership. And if you can work with us and you can help us keep our community safe, we can have a safe community if we both work together.
And I think the distressing part about this situation is, with adults with firearms, that's one thing. But when you have juveniles with firearms and shooting in the crowds, I mean, that's a whole different level. So we're gonna like I said, those are the things that we're gonna look at and address because we have to keep the public safe. We don't want people to come out in fear. We definitely don't want anybody with bad intentions to stop our people from enjoying these types of festivities. Like I said, the entire Mardi Gras season went well, no problems. It's just this particular night, last night, once it got dark, the switch flipped. And was it alcohol? Was it beef? Was it people being too long in the same place? We don't know, but we're going to drill down on that and we're going to start planning to get around that. But also, I think the biggest component is going to be timing. When do we want to wind down Mardi Gras in Southwest Louisiana? We can't be the last place standing and then having these kind of incidents. And I think that's going to go a long way in securing our public and these type of events.
Just to dovetail off what the sheriff said, that it's an absolute partnership between our law enforcement agencies and the city. Our 2 incidents that occurred, one at Patty's and one on Tulip Street, both open investigations. So if anybody in the public was at Patty's last night or has information about that, or in reference to the Tulip Street situation, please contact the Lake Charles Police Department 491-1311. Ask for our investigations bureau. They'll get you connected. We work very well with our citizens, and it's absolutely a partnership to get things done. So we'd love if somebody out there has additional information, please reach out to us. Yes, sir.
For the shooting on Tulip Street, I think.
And I think I said Stanton earlier. It was Tulip Street. That was a totally separate situation. I apologize.
So for the shooting on Tulip, do we have the exact time for when that may occur?
No, there may be, but I don't have that for you. That I don't have for you either. That I don't have for you either.
Well, I won't make it perfectly clear though. We had what did we have on Friday night? The Merchants Parade. We had the Merchants Parade, had the Kids Parade, we had the Jeep Parade. We didn't have any issues. Zero issues, and those were night parades. But they weren't out there all day. They were out there for a short duration parade, and they dispersed. So I don't want people to think, hey, this was all a Mardi Gras. This was all Fat Tuesday. This is where the problem was.
Of those 12 arrests, how many were given
out? I'm not sure. I can check on that for you, Caleb, and get back to you. I just know we had 12 arrests.
And were there any deaths from Michigan that were
No.
okay. And speaking of the community opposition concept of launching, how does that go down in trying to involve the community to feel comfortable and forward?
No, we've always had very positive community outreach. We've worked very well with our public. We try to go above and beyond to do what we need to do to keep our public safe.
I feel like we have supported the trust of our public, and that's why it's always important for us to always do the right thing and to work hard to keep that trust. Because I can tell you, we wouldn't be able to solve crime if it were not for the public coming forward and helping us. And we've been so fortunate.
I believe it was at the doorway, if I'm not mistaken.
Now I'm gonna cut this short. I really just want to
All that's
give
still under
the
investigation. You got to figure
briefing on
this
it.
happened.
And I mean, I wanted to give a briefing on it, just to kind of like touch base on what I was talking about. And man, it's just a sad situation, man. It's a sad situation. And I commented, I made a comment on the post when they first they didn't say what was going on. They just said it was two people who shot before it was announced that it was two teenagers. And I want to read the comment that I wrote. I want to show y'all. I want to go into some reasons why these things are. As a matter of fact, it's just in popular rapper and popular Jacksonville rapper was gunned down in his hometown. And when I do this, it's not out of humor. It's out of sadness. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is a rapper who was just gunned down in his own hometown. But let's continue. Trying to find this post, matter of fact, so I can read y'all my comment and what somebody replied to me. And this is why we're in a condition. Then I'm gonna play y'all a video from one of our so-called leaders in our community. And I'm gonna show you why these things are not changing. Because as I told y'all before, if you got a child and everywhere they go, you get a bad report. When they get back home to you, you tell them, wrong. It's not them. It's not you. It's not you. It's them. That child's not gonna ever change. That child's gonna burn out and bring nothing but reflection reproach on you. Because you never told them, hey, look, you need to fix you first. This is what you need to do so you can stop going deep. No, I'm not gonna tell you nothing, it's their fault. Serious? And that's what has been done in the black community. Nobody, like I say, Barack Obama, this is why I have a deep repugnance for people like Barack Obama and the Al Sharptons, and because they have been telling black people for years, it's not your fault. It's the white man. Now it's Trump. He's the new thing. But ultimately it's the white man. It's not your fault for what you did and how you made and how you was trying to fight the police and do all this. It's his fault. No accountability. But let me read this comment to add it to that narrative. Watch this here. This is a comment that I made concerning the shooting that happened last night at Mardi Gras. Again, you know, my nephew and my little cousin, they good. They covered by the blood of God. I keep them in my prayers. So it wasn't no word and nothing was gonna happen to them. But I mean, it's just a chaos. Because if you've been in one of these situations before, a club or any type of place where there's a lot of people and you hear shots, people get to turn. It's on a rampage. You bring your elderly parents out there just to have a good time, get out of the house, and one of these fools end up shoot in the air, because they'll do that. And everybody get to dispersing like roaches and end up stampeding over your parents, your children. It's just dangerous. And it's sad because it's like, why is we have, like next month they have something that I like to go through. And good thing black people don't like to go to it. It's called Swan Lake. One of the things that I enjoy is ballet, and there's a lot of professional ballets, and they on the stage. And I really, really love classical music. I love orchestra, and you get to listen to the orchestra. You get to listen to and watch the orchestra play while you watching these ballets. You know, do they little recite? They not they recitals. Do they little cause they professionals, so they up prepared recitals. I don't know what you call it, but they get to do their little thing, and it's just so peaceful and serene. Nobody watching, nobody loud talking, nobody fighting, twerking. It's just peaceful. and it's amazing. And for me, like I said, it's something that I really, really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to it because they don't really come to the South a lot, but they'll be coming. Um, and I'll go check them out. And I know one thing: this is gonna be majority white people, few Chinese, I mean, few Asian, but it's not gonna probably be any black people. And if it is gonna be black people, it's gonna be the black people that's like me, who are concerned, who have conservative values, and they're men and women of God, and they're not with all of that other nonsense. And again, I know I'm covered by God. I'm safe. I can go to Mardi Gras, these places. But again, why would I want to go to a place and abruptly at any given time some guns can go off? When I see certain type of crowds, I say, you know what, I'm not going. If I get invited to an event and I see certain type of, I'll call and be like, look, man, I couldn't make it. I don't hang with black people. I don't hang with white people. I don't hang with Mexican people. I hang with Americans. People who love America, who are not, they don't partake in destroying it. People who love America don't partake in destroying it, or hurting or destroying the country or people who live in the country. And just so happen that mean I hang with more white people, but still, they have some black people that love that country. But most black people are raised to hate America, stolen land. They were slaves. They're having it hard. All of this victim nonsense. But let me go into my comment that I made. Uh, so when the shooting first broke out, when the shooting first happened, of course I made a comment, trying to pull it up. And my comment was this: imagine having a neighbor who beats his wife damn near every day in front of the whole neighborhood. But when he sees you yell at your girlfriend, not your wife, your girlfriend, one time, he tells you you're out of line. That man is black people. Black people have all this smoke, all this energy for ICE, for the police, for white people, for Trump. When stuff like this happens, it's crickets. Because when you look at my when you look at my news channel or my hometown, but it's with anything. When this type of stuff like this, black on black, they quiet. You don't hear nothing from them. But when it comes to ICE, when it comes to Trump, and again, these are the people who trying to help us. ICE is helping us. ICE help black people more than help anybody. And the reason being because black people are most affected by these job loss that we lose to illegals. And I've been affected by it personally. Because as a contractor, it's time where I'm outbidded by illegals. Or it's time where I have been outbidded by illegals. When I was working in when I was a contractor. But let me finish. And anytime it's a situation with black on black crime, they're silent. Any and every time it's a bunch of black people, it's either going to be fighting, shooting, and or killing. And you woke internet black and you woke internet black revolutionaries are quiet. And that's why you're not respected. That's why when people see y'all leave, it's not about race. Black people, this is why. Y'all seem not to get it and make everything about race. It has nothing to do with race. It's called pattern recognition. And it has nothing to do with race. And guess what? I don't want to be around y'all. Certain ones of y'all. And that's sad. And the ones who are black and civilized are afraid to say something for the fear of being blackballed or getting called by name, being called names. Coon. And it's so funny, they'll call us a coon for speaking about it, but they'll never call the drug dealers coons who destroy the community. The dudes the rappers who disrespect women and glorify the lifestyle that is hurting our community as a whole. They'll never call them cool. But the people like me who speak against it, we're cool. Let's continue. And I finish by saying, But until we address this nonsense with some uncomfortable conversations, it's not going to change. Oh yeah, Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. And those uncomfortable conversations are going to have to happen. And if they don't, let's just go head on as a Black community and get ready to continue to see these type of behavior. And if we got loved ones, the best thing we can do is get them away from these type of Black people. And if you can't afford to, get the life insurance. You can afford that. You can afford. Everybody can afford life insurance on their children. Life insurance is not as life insurance, especially if you're a healthy adult or a child, is very, very inexpensive because it's dangerous. Somebody child went to a parade last night that was 16 with a gun and shot a 14-year-old. 2 weeks ago, a 13-year-old got shot in the same town, execution style. And right now, there's no suspects. And this guy was just saying, the mayor was just saying, if you see people with 30 round clips and all of this, and say something and all this, but the problem with that is that culture of Black people that said we ain't snitching, which is why a 13-year-old boy right now is dead with no suspects. They're not going to say anything. This is a part of their culture. This is a part of their culture that I'm trying to destroy and rebuild. Shout out Raymond, man. Shout out Raymond, man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, my brother. Um, so some guy, again, this is one of our issue. Our main issue is it's never nobody else. It's never our fault. It's always somebody else. Anybody blaming Black people thinking we are not victims needs to reevaluate their critical thinking skills. Some of us are going to fall by the wayside by design. It's the system. Black people can't have an organization in America without it being infiltrated and taken over by government agencies like BLM, for example. Yet gangs still exist. Drill music is CIA social engineering. We're constantly kept at eye by design. Look at TV shows by Black, all drama. Now that Africa come into power, they doing the same thing. Africans and Black Americans, wake up. Now he said some true things here. He did say some true things. Um, but again, this goes back to the 80s where we talk about, oh well, we don't have no drug boats, we don't have no planes. They put it in our communities. That's still not a right for you to do, for you to take. Listen, we all know right from wrong. So when you speak about drugs and and oh my God, crack was an atomic bomb on the inner cities, right? Crack was an atomic bomb. And so to sit back and say, oh well, we was doing bad. Now are there certain people who capitalize on the nonsense and the foolishness of Black people? Absolutely. But that's not a race. That's everybody, even some of our own people. Everybody is capitalizing on the miseducation of Black people. Everybody is capitalizing. People come here, immigrants come here with Black people on their vision board. These people, the Johnny Dang, these Arabs, jewelers, they have created generational wealth. These Arab and Jewish dealerships that take money under the table for these foreign cars, they have created generational wealth. These people who sell hair, do nails, these Asians, they have created and are continuing to create matter of fact, community generational wealth off your Negroes. And so what he said was true, but when he say victim, it's listen, we're not victims. And the funny thing, and I'm gonna speak on this in my reply to that, but the thing is this, and I wanted to finish about the crack situation. Okay, we didn't have a boat, we didn't have the plane to bring the drugs in, but when we brought the drugs in, it's people who created generational wealth off of that too, off the backs of their own people. They got the situation with them boys, Courtney Brown, I forgot the other one name. They were the boys in Detroit, the Motown, not the record label Motown, but the Motown street dude who they made big money selling drugs, and they children and they grandchildren right now is had college and all that paid for because of them. And I don't even know where they at. I think some of them dead. So yes, it hurt a lot of black people, and I think it was the start of the black decline, but it did help a lot of black people. Ultimately, it was nobody's fault. Nobody told y'all to pick up drugs and sell it. Nobody told y'all that. Nobody told y'all to pick up drugs and sell it, and nobody told y'all to pick up drugs and do it. They had 14-year-olds in Mercedes-Benz. Listen, DC, LA, they had 14-year-olds driving Mercedes-Benz because of that crack money. You feel me? And so when you speak about that whole victim mindset and always blaming somebody else, where is the accountability, man? We should have never sold them drugs. Because they wasn't just dropping it off. That's another lie. It was people who was connected with certain people, because hustling, black people in the inner cities always was hustling. Way back since the 50s and 60s with weed and drug pushers and all that there. Curtis Mayfield. I'm saying him because he made a song called I'm Your Pusher. This been going on. And people capitalized off that and got with certain black people and said, look, we got this new drug, cocaine, heroin. And they found dudes in the city, and the dudes and the black people that had these connects dispersed it without the city and created all kind of smaller hustles. And they would be the hub. So let's not make it like the white man was sitting down, putting his hand together, and he got a whole bunch of dope and dropped it in your neighborhood. And the thing is, it's so funny and it's so sad. As a matter of fact, I had a video a couple years ago of a grand wizard, and he was saying that, man, we don't have to kill black people no more. He said, and if we did want to get rid of a whole bunch of them, he said, all we gotta go do is drop some guns and drugs off in one of their hoods overnight, bunch of duffel bag, and guess what? They make it's self-elimination, and that is sad and embarrassing. That's shameful. That is shameful. What happened to, man? We got to get this out of our hood. What happened to the so-called people? I don't know. They say that's what Black Panthers originally started. What happened to the people in our community? Say, look, man, if drugs is in it, we getting drugs out of this neighborhood. Ain't no drugs in this neighborhood. We're gonna rise to the top, and we're gonna come together as our group of people and do things better with the help of God. But we're not gonna sell drugs to each other and have some of us hurt. Man, there are people selling their babies for crack. Crack was an atomic bomb. Crack was Hiroshima to Black America. And it was the biggest opportunity. It was the opportunity of a lifetime for us. But again, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. We have to start with accountability. So when he say, oh, the rap music, again, nobody has to, no, number one, nobody has to rap, and nobody has to consume the rap. They can give out billion-dollar contracts to rap. Man, we not rapping no more. Because like I was saying in the video the other day, people for ethical treatment of animals, PETA, they wouldn't tolerate a genre of music that celebrated death, that celebrated death and torture of animals, drug use of it. They wouldn't tolerate it. But yet we have a genre of music that promotes, celebrates death, destruction, drug use, disrespecting our women. We have a genre of music that celebrates that, and everybody around the world listens to it. And if you go to these Rolling Loud concerts and you go to these festivals, it's going to be majority of races of other people. Everybody is jamming to our destruction. And these Jewish people and whoever these people is, and even some black people, because that's why I said everybody's capitalizing on black people. It's not no race no more. It's a spirit that capitalizes on foolishness, which is the enemy, right? And so you have these people, they can sit back and say, oh, he making some good music. Let's go pay him a whole bunch of money. And it's like killing two birds, one stone. We're going to have him rich, so he's going to be a target, right? And he could possibly be killed, i.e. Lil Papa, Jacksonville rapper was just killed, probably about a couple hours ago. Just reported, just breaking news. And even if he died, we still have the rights to his music, so we're gonna still get paid off it. And of course, that spike when he first died, the music go crazy, sales go crazy. So not only that, the music he gonna have people jealous and want to take him out. He gonna then most of these people come to find out most of these label heads invest in prison. So not only is he gonna cause multiple people that look like him to do what he's saying, try to achieve his lifestyle, and they gonna end up dying in the process or going to prison. So we're gonna get a return on investment with the prison. Also, we get to allow them to eliminate each other. Because as Margaret Singer, the founder of Planned Parenthood abortion, these people are useless. And they're proving the people right every day. They are useless. They go around, everywhere they go is confusing. People can't even go have a good time. Yesterday, that parade that I spoke about, for the most part, I seen a lot of black people. I didn't go for it, but different people go live. And I seen so many white people. And these white people, they going out there just to enjoy, and a lot of black people too. A lot of black people. So I don't want to leave black, but I'm saying majority of black, but all are white. They going out there just to enjoy themselves. They're not going out there for that. But y'all going out there and causing stuff and ruining it for everybody. And then next time people thinking about, man, I don't know if I want to bring grandma. I don't know if I want to bring the kids. I don't know if I want to bring people because who knows what could happen. And it's just a sad situation, man. But this was my reply. And this is important. My reply to him was this. I agree with nearly everything you said, but you mentioned a few things that I'd like to address. Let's start with victim. I have a huge problem with that word. Here's why. Most black people believe in God, and believing in God and being a victim is an oxymoron. God makes you a victim because if he's with you, no one can be against you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. But I understand that most black people will classify themselves as victims in some form of fashion. However, here's the problem. If they are victims, it's of the things you mentioned. The white man, Trump, ICE, and none of the stuff they blame is their problem. As a matter of fact, those are the things and people helping them. But they've been brainwashed to believe otherwise. I also understand they don't want the violence to stop in the inner cities. And when I say they, I'm talking about the higher ups. A lot of these, especially these Democrats like Brandon Johnson, Karen Bass, these LaToya Cantrell, Mayor Cantrell, New Orleans, all of these, the Jasmine Crockett, these liberal Democratic leaders, they don't want the crime to stop because if the crime stops, all of these grants that they get from Washington for programs that's supposed to be helping these programs and helping these people and bring the violence down, that money don't go to no program. They may give a little sprinkle of it, but majority is being put in their pocket and helping them live this big lifestyle that they want to live. It's not going to the community. Not most of it. They might drop a dime in the bucket here and there to keep the cheat off them, but majority is money. And so if all of us come together, like I say, they don't want I'm talking about blacks. And that's just like the situation with the 92 crime bill. People blame Joe Biden and Bill Clinton for that. It wasn't them who did it. They made Joe Biden created the bill because the people in Black America was going to Congress, going to the local leaders and saying, man, y'all have to do something about these crack dealers. And so because of that, they was getting so bombarded by black people. Joe Biden wrote the 92 crime bill. We got to know what we're talking about. But again, they don't want the crime to stop. These people, like all these people, these fake black, they don't want the crime to stop because if the crime stops, the money stops. If the inner cities is in good shape, they don't need money for programs and after school and all this nonsense that money goes not into, but in their pocket. That money stops. Problem solved, money stops. Problem continues, more money. You understand? Let me continue with my comment. I also understand they don't want the violence to stop in inner cities because all those grants they get for programs to fix the problems are being funneled into their pockets. crime stop, so does the money. And I told him, I really informed, but I said last year, I don't have to say the whole thing, but yeah, they don't want the crime to stop. Stop for what? Stop. The money stop. And it ain't on their front door. Because again, they live in the best neighborhoods. They live in the best neighborhoods around those. Guess what? Come close. I want you to hear me. Those racist white people that they tell you is oppressing you, they can't wait to get money to go live around and get away from you. Young black man, young black woman. But like I say, man, that's my thing, man. And so I wanted to play this video to show you how. Now this is Jamal Bryant. This is a preacher, and I guess some will call him a black leader. Lord God forbid he ever be a leader of mine. But I'm just saying when it's absolutely not true. Okay, so let's go. Let's play this.
It took a white man to tell me. He says,
now this is Cam Newton on his show, and he had Pastor Jamal Bryant. So let's listen to see what Jamal Bryant said. And of course, at the end, I'll add my commentary. Where we at? Right here.
it took a white man to tell me. He says, how is it when a black man kill a black man, it's not really outrage? Yeah. But when a white man kills a black man, it's going to start a riot. The American media have manipulated the narrative of crime. Black on black crime is a made up thing. You have never heard white on white crime. Never heard the Asian on Asian crime. They've tried to fraction and compartmentalize us to feel as if where the crime is where we are.
So I got to stop when he said that. So he just lied. And again, this is what these people do. They'll lie. This is why I'm at a point now where I don't even really believe all the statistics that they have search sites via Google, because all of these companies is woke. Which is the epitome of woke is thou shalt not speak against black people, because we want them, i.e., because we want them to stay in that condition. They get better again. They get better. The race, black people wake up, all of the race hustling money goes. Black people begin to realize who they are. All of the race hustling goes out the window. The money stops. Same thing with police. If they tell black people, look, man, comply, be calm when you have an interaction with police, guess what? That money they get to represent these people and the civil rights and all this nonsense, all that money goes. So they got to keep these black people that black people think love them, don't. They want to see you in the same condition, because if you heal, if you get better, the money stops. The money stops. And when I say the money stops, like I said, I told you about the grants, but all the way around the board, the money stops. Whether it be lawyers defending you, civil rights attorney defending you because you had to deal with the police and it went bad because you was brainwashed to believe police is the enemy. Or whether it be because these politicians, these liberal Democratic politicians, it's not going to get no more money for programs that they can put in their pocket and buy new SUVs like the mayor of Baltimore just did. But I digress. And so he said, you never hear white on white crime, you never hear Asian on Asian crime. Well, you never hear it because, again, it's not alarming. Yes, it happened. Asian on Asian crime, it happened. But you never hear Asians killing black people. White on white crime happened. But how often do you hear white people killing black people? Black people kill black people at an alarming rate, and they killing Asian people, they killing every damn body. And it's for the world to see. Everybody see it. There are a small percentage, 13%, they commit 50% of crime. I didn't make these numbers. These numbers did not come out of my behind. They come out of the FBI statistics, which can't be biased. They can't, even if they wanted to. So we know that every community, anything you say that the black community is doing bad, every other community is doing the same thing. But the problem with black America is they're too small of a population to be doing these things at an alarming rate. And another thing, what's happening in these other communities, the negativity does not override the positivity in their community. But in black America, again, because they're so small the percentage of America, their negativity is overshadowing the positivity in their community. And again, as for mentioned, the people in the community that is positive and civilized, they won't speak against these things. So they go in the boat with the degenerates. They're part of the problem. But let's continue. Like this entity here, this guy's a preacher, man. Lying.
The lead murderers in America are white men. The lead robbers in America are white men. The largest amount of rapists are white men. The highest number of domestic abusers.
Now let's address that. Again, white people are 60% of the population. So of course, they're going to lead in everything. But when they do statistics, and it's sad that I have to say this to a preacher who's supposed to be educated, right? When you do statistics, any type of statistic goes per capita. Per capita means, say for instance, you have 100 murders in Louisiana and you have 100 murders in New York. Louisiana is going to be listed as more murders than New York. Why? Because New York is a bigger percentage. It's a bigger area. So yes, we all know that that's common sense that when you talk about who's leading these, that's not how statistics go. The reason why black people are leading these statistics and you're lying, you're telling the truth when it comes to, yes, they commit more violence in all of these areas than black people. But the reason why black people is statistically higher than them is because black people are only 13% of the American population. White people are 60. You idiot. But let's continue.
Is white men. The highest number of arrested pedophiles is white men. The greatest number of
Now let's address pedophilia. We have to address that. We cannot let that slip around his tongue. You know what's so funny about the pedophilia thing? This was funny about the pedophilia thing. Black people love to use that as a trump card when they dealing with white people as if they don't have that going on in their community. The difference between white people and black people when you're talking about the pedophilia within the family, incest and all of that, is white people take it serious and they report it. They don't care about how uncle gonna look. They don't care about how the family gonna look. That is horrible to them. But black people, we've all know we black. Thank God it never happened in my family, my immediate family. I can't really speak, but I don't think my family that nothing like that happened because I probably would have heard of it at this point. But I know it didn't happen in my immediate family, and I don't think it happened in my family. But most black families have had situations where pedophilia has took place, but it was swept under the rug because black people didn't want the family to look bad. But I'm gonna say this. This goes back to one of my things that I always speak about, which is black people two problems. They have two trees. Every community has two trees, and every community operates off two trees that have several branches on those trees. But both of those trees are capitalism and education. Black people don't have those two trees. Majority of them anyway. Some of us have those two trees. I do, but not all of us. Most black people operate off two trees with multiple branches. That is the social justice tree. Woe to me because I'm black. This is happening because black. Ooh, I'm the first, this, that. And then stunting. And always want to be seen and heard and want to be looked at as you better than the next black person. So because of this tree, a lot of black pedophilia is not reported because it's going to make them look bad as a family. But let's continue.
dealers arrested is white men. But if you ask the average American who are the proponents of crime, is a black face to it. They're now trying to create this narrative that the immigrants are bringing in the crime.
And again, another thing I want to say, when you listen to these type of people, see if you somebody who don't have no spiritual discernment, you hate white people, you love to be a victim, that'll override what you see, right? That'll override what you see, right? And I noticed that from a lot of educated people. They go get these education and data end up blinding them to what they actually see. Okay, let's go off what you said. Let's go off what you said, which I just explained why those numbers are like they are. But let's just go off what you said and say that white people is the majority of this, majority of that, majority of that. Forget that they 60% of the population. Forget the percentage and how per capita percentage work. Let's just say you right. Let's just go off there. I've never heard a white singer rock and rolls. White singers don't rap about the stuff that black singers rap about. Rock and roll stars that they so say worship the devil don't rock about killing each other and supporting the death of each other, disrespecting their women. They don't do that. Your community does, Mr. Jamal Bryant. Your community, the only community who glorify and promote death in their music. So what about that? But see, Cam didn't come with a follow-up because Cam, he's a moderate. He don't know what's going on here. I be Cam, but Cam, Cam, like I say, I love Cam. Cam was a 99 overall player in college and the pros until he got hurt. But Cam, I'm never gonna say he a moderate. Cam just a meathead. Cam just what they would call a dumb jock. He just all over the place. He let you, I love Cam, man. But that would have been me. I'd say, okay, let's say you right. Because first of all, I would have hit him with all of these per capitas and with this mean and why black people. I'd have gave him all that, which he wouldn't have been able to bone because I'd have pulled the FBI statistics out. But after that, I would have told him, I'd have said, hey, man, well, why is it that black people are the only one rap and brag about it? Nobody else make music about it. Nobody, the white, but they ain't making music about it. They not promoting to their youth, making it seem cool. What about that? What about all the pedophilia that go on in Black America that's not reported because they don't want to make the family bad? What about that, Mr. Jamal Bryant? You're a preacher. I'm sure you've heard plenty of those cases. Hopefully you haven't been involved. But I'm sure plenty of those cases have came on your desk for counseling, pastor. What about that? And then he'd have been with that queer look that he liked to put on his face. Again, that's why they go to people like that. They don't go to, say, Fox News or Tucker Carlson or none of these people, because that's when they're going to get the hard question that they're not ready to answer. But let's continue.
And they never want to own up to what it is that they have done. Part of our responsibility is to pull the sheets off. We had a shooting here in Georgia now.
And I want to say something else too. These are the same people, I guarantee you, he probably was raised by his mama. Well, however he was raised, I'm sure he was raised in a black neighborhood. I guarantee he don't stay in one. That's another thing that go into my narrative. If white people, okay, let's go with your narrative that white people are the number one killer, the number one this, the number one that. Why do y'all love to get money and go stay around? You don't stay in the hood, Jamal Bryant. You probably don't even stay in Buckhead because Buckhead has become extremely black over the years with rappers, drug dealers, scammers. Last time I was in Buckhead, bro, I thought I was in the Beverly Hills hood because it looked nice, but it's ghetto because the people that has been moved there, the content creator, the OnlyFans model, it's like a big old everybody on the. It's just ghetto in Buckhead right now. And Buckhead a nice area. And they did the same thing in Baccarat over there by Biscayne in Miami. They did the same thing. They've turned that into a content creator because anybody can get in with money. It doesn't really, I'm guessing it's no HOA. And then the HOA scared to get called racist. So these people are coming in and it's ghetto. I will say this here. I don't know about no crime going on, but drug use, drug deal is crazy. But I digress. So let's continue. So when I say that if these people are the people who lead in all these, they lead in all of these bad. If white people lead in all of these bad things, why do y'all want to live around? Soon as y'all get some money, why? Let's continue. And the illegal immigrants thing that you said, I really don't really speak on it. Well, I do understand most illegal immigrants are not coming here to commit crime. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it from this standpoint. I'm going to give you an analogy. Number one, they came here illegal. You can't come to another person's country illegally. You have to come in the right way. I didn't make the rule. But let's just say you do come here, and it's like this. I'm going to give you an analogy. Say, for instance, you got a sibling, your brother, your sister, they could fall on bad terms, and they get evicted, and they say, can they come stay with you? Okay, come on, stay with me. And they got a spouse, and the spouse comes stay with y'all too. Now, you got cameras all in your house, and you find out that your sister or your brother, whoever it is stealing. It depends on what it is. You might not kick them out, but you'll be mad. You'll address it, you fight, whatever. But if that person, that spouse of your brother, sister, steals, man, you automatically gonna want them out because they only there because. So I'm saying it to say illegal aliens come here committing crime. The one or two that might do it make all of them look bad because again, you're not supposed to be here. You're illegal. I mean, I didn't make the rules. So if you're gonna come here, the best thing you can do is come here and chill out. But when you come here and you commit crime, you make all of them look bad, which is again why I speak on the situation I speak on, because black people do stuff and one black people make all of us look bad. And I have to do my part in trying to correct that. But let's continue.
Long ago, a young man named Colt, 14 years old, went shot up his high school. His father's now being charged. Can you imagine what conversation me and you would be having if Colt was black? And Colt's.
So now he come with some anecdotal situation about Colt, a white boy named Colt, who shot up his school. Okay, yeah, we know we have those situations that take place every blue moon. It's not happening every day. You Negroes, matter of fact, Atlanta is in top 10 of black on black crime. So when you sit up here and say, if you know what kind of conversation we would be having if it was black, y'all wouldn't have a conversation. Y'all wouldn't even talk about it because we know right there in your own city where you're at now, I don't know if that's where you're from, but where you got the church at, right there in your own city, they are top 10 in black on black crime, and you're not saying anything about it. So we know what y'all would be saying. Nothing. Maybe Cam would until he get one of you people to come on there and try to redirect or deflect, but you wouldn't say anything about it. But let's continue.
Black father gave him a gun. The television, the internet would explode on the irresponsibility of black fathers, on why it is that young black men have guns and are carrying guns. It has always shifted to make black men feel hyper-aggressive, hypersexual, and hyper-criminalized. It's part of a larger historic original sin of America that always criminalizes and points their fingers at black men when it's absolutely not true.
It took a white man to tell me. He says, how is it when a black man kill a black man, it's not really outrage?
Yeah.
But when a white man kills a black man, it's going to start a riot.
The American media have manipulated the narrative of crime. Black on black crime is a made up thing. You have never heard white on white crime. Never heard the Asian on Asian crime.
And I do want to address the last lie that he told about what he said. He said that they make it like we over sexualize. Come on, bro. Who making it like that? Look, all you gotta do is again. These are the things that they'll do, and this is why black people cannot progress. This is why we are in our current stasis with no sign of coming out because people like this validate our nonsense. You don't know how many players you know in any league. We can go to football, basketball, but any league. How many players that you know that are white or any other descent have all of these baby mamas making babies outside of their marriage? How many times have we seen that, if any? The average black player in the NBA or the NFL got multiple baby mamas, even some of them that's married. You got coaches. Ume Udoka in Houston. He was in Boston. He dating Neil Long, but he can't keep his penis in his pants. End up having sex with somebody that he wasn't supposed to have sex with wife or somebody in that organization to hire up and got him. He lost his job. Thank God he got another opportunity. The guy in Michigan, black coach over a Michigan football team, a blessing, and he blew it by messing with one of the people on his staff. What she was a student. I mean, she wasn't a student, but she was like, what you call that? She was under him, messing with her, ended up going to the woman's house, kicking her door, and talking about he's gonna kick. Just blew it. He got a whole wife and children at home. So it's not no such thing as they projecting us to be over sexualized. We are doing this. The average black man my age got multiple baby mamas. I'm 38. The average black man my age got multiple baby mamas. Some of them never even been married, but got multiple baby mamas. This is a thing in the black community. And I told y'all that because majority of us are raised by women. And what happens is we get all of that women energy in us. All of that woman, all of that feminine energy is in us. And it makes us either homosexual or over-sexualized toward women. Because it's something in us that's drawn to women. But we're heterosexual, so we have sex with them. Relationships don't work because we really a woman, not we, I'm not going to say me because I'm not like that, but a woman trapped in a man's body, and they really worship the masculine principle, so it draws them to multiple women. They can't keep their penis, and they're heterosexual, so they can't keep a relationship because it's like two women being together, and we know that don't work. Always arguing, fussy, sassiness, no masculinity. But because he heterosexual with this female energy, it makes him over-sexualized. He cannot control this head, and it gets him in a lot of trouble. This is facts, bro. This is facts that most black men, you can see the rappers too, multiple baby mamas. Now these rock and roll stars don't operate like that. No other race operates like we operate when we have all these baby mamas. So it's not no, oh, we being portrayed. This is factual. That's backed up by data. No, forget data. Backed up by what we see. But guys like this will make you say, no, you're not saying that. This is what college indoctrination does. This is what these fake black leaders do, such as himself. They tell you, and don't mention a white liberal that I'm about to close the show out of. They'll tell you that, hey, your eyes is not seeing black on black crime. Close your eyes. It's the white man. That's why y'all got to put the lens of truth on, so you can see things not the way they're supposed to be, but see them for what they are. Right? And so, I'm gonna close out, man. But I wanted to play this video. I ran into this video, and you know, I already covered the black coat situation with this. Listen, man, if you as a black man have any type of issue when it comes to black coaches being hired, you need to create some type of society, even if it's a secret society. Get other black players from other leagues, other black people with money, and y'all need to come together and create a black league. Y'all have the money, y'all have the influence to do it at this point. Y'all just don't have the brain power. And when I say the brain power, not saying y'all not smart enough, y'all don't have the brain power to override victim mentality. Y'all don't have the brain power to look forward to rulership. Y'all still stuck on equality. Y'all still stuck there. Y'all still stuck on, I have a dream that one day little boys and black girls. Y'all still stuck on that. So y'all haven't somehow, I have, not enough have, went over to the land of rulership. Moved over to the land of capitalism. And not communism and socialism. Most black people have a socialist mindset. And the Democratic Party that they hang on so strong to loves that about them. And so I spoke about the black coat situation. I had a 3-part live. You had to go back, I think it was a week before last. Like I say, I do live Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And I had a 3-part series that I did on that live. And you know, that I gave pretty much the blueprint on what to do. If you got an issue with them not hiring black coaches, do something about it. But the last video I'm going to play from y'all is the disgusting scum of the earth white liberal. That Malcolm X, the one who should be celebrated, not Martin Luther King. Malcolm X should be the one celebrated, but I digress. Malcolm X warned us about the white liberal 60 years ago. The white liberal is a scum. And why I have such a deep repugnance for the white liberal, it's because I believe you cannot change my mind. And it's already been proven that majority, and really the white liberal women to be specific, but some of the white liberal men, and it already been medically proven that majority of white liberal women are mentally ill, on antidepressants and all that. I understand and I get that. They got a spiritual issue, clearly. That's from the enemy. But why I dislike the white liberal, why they are disgusting to me, why I have a deep repugnance for them, is because in my mind, I think they want black people to be in a situation they're in. Because you know why I think that? All you gotta do is just shut up. I understand y'all got bullied in 2020 to say that your quiet is basically saying you with the racists, which there was no such thing as racist. Or I'm not saying there's no such thing as racism. I'm saying the situation with George Floyd had nothing to do with race. It had to do with a cop who got in his emotions and made a bad decision. But I digress. Black people, liberal black people, because again, let me say this. See, liberal black people that's always whining and crying about white supremacy this, white supremacy that, the white man is, really all they want is a hug. All they want is to be affirmed. This is why they love people like, what's her name? Jane Elliott. People like that. This is why they love the white liberal, because the white liberal affirms them and hugs them and tells them it's going to be all right. It's not them, it's you. I mean, it's not you, it's them. Even though these people look like me, they won't give you a solution. They won't give you a helping hand, but they'll affirm your nonsense. And again, I think that's because they don't want black people to wake up because they feel threatened by black people. So because they feel threatened by black people being successful, coming out of their victim mindset, leaving the Democratic plantation, anytime you try to do any of those things, they'll demonize you, but the ones who still there, they'll rub their back. I have a deep repugnance that if I wasn't a man of God, it would be hate for the white liberal. They are the worst thing in America, especially the white liberal woman. And so they have a white liberal woman who made a video, virtual signaling, telling black people that, hey, no black people were hired in the NFL, and it's so racist. She's not giving any solution. She's not saying, hey, this is what you guys should do by creating y'all own league. Y'all have the influence. Y'all have the capital. None of that. She's telling you, woe to you because you're black. And you can't get a chance in the races in NFL. The races in NFL that have made generational, that have gave more black men the opportunity to change their life than probably any other organization outside of the NBA or something. It's racist because they don't want to hire a black coach because somebody who created something, whatever it is, and got so successful that they was able to buy a team. Because the NFL really don't have nothing to do with it. The NFL don't have nothing to do with this. Roger Goodell can't tell those teams what to do. He can't do that. It's their team. They own it. They did whatever they had to do in life to rise to the top to own the team. He can't tell them what not to do. Can't have it. And it's on them. And these people, whoever they are, don't want to hire a black person for their team, whoever they may be. And because of that, they're automatically racist. That is completely nonsense and asinine. So let's play this devil in white skin and what she had to say about the NFL and it's not hiring and it's lack thereof hiring black coaches.
And the final two have The NFL had 10 open head coaching spots, and the final 2 have been reportedly filled, with the Las Vegas Raiders planning to hire Clint Kubiak and the Arizona Cardinals planning to hire Mike LaFleur. And so that means on this first day of Black History Month, it is confirmed that there will be 0 Black head coaches hired in this cycle, 10 openings, the most in the history of the NFL in a single season. That leaves 3 active Black head coaches, D'Amico Ryans, Todd Bowles, and Aaron Glenn. Of 10 hires, 9 of them are white and none of them are Black. 4 of them have been head coaches before, 6 are first-time head coaches. Feels like a good time to point out that there have only ever been 11 Black head coaches to be given a second chance at a head coaching job after being fired from their first. I will also yet again remind you that the NFL is majority Black. It was up to 75%, right around the 2017, 2018 mark. It has gone up and down since then. You're going to hear a lot about the development of Black coaches, especially at the offensive coordinator position, which is more of a feeder position than defensive coordinator at this point, although both are getting head coaching jobs. There is an issue with developing Black coaches into head coaching candidates. And that is true because that's systemic, that is institutional. Meanwhile, there are now 2 sets of brothers as head coaches in the NFL, Mike and Matt LaFleur and Jim and John Harbaugh. The ability for white coaches to make their way up the ranks, through the ranks, and be hired and be given the benefit of the doubt and be given second chances and third chances is so clearly biased in favor of white coaches that it seems honestly kind of stupid for me to even say it out loud. This is straight up racism. That's it. When you have a majority Black league, a league that has been built on the back of Black players, a league that sustains itself on the backs of Black players, a league where the culture itself is defined by Black American culture, the idea that there aren't enough qualified Black people in America to work their way into head coaching opportunities in the NFL is fucking absurd. It's the same line that was fed about Black quarterbacks forever and still happens. The workforce, in this case the players, are a snapshot of the pool of people that should be represented across the board. That's how it should go in any industry. Of course, it doesn't. But with the NFL specifically, we are talking about the most profitable sports league in the world. And it is built on the backs of Black American players. There is no reason on planet Earth that Brian Flores and Vance Joseph shouldn't have been hired to head coaching positions this season. And those are just the 2 most obvious, most qualified candidates who have somehow worked their way into these opportunities before. There are qualified coaches who have never even gotten the opportunity to get their names in front of us for us to consider them. This is pathetic, and it is inarguable that underqualified white men are getting these jobs. Men who should not get these jobs are getting these jobs, and fans and the players on the teams are suffering for it. And I'm sorry this keeps fucking happening.
She's sorry, but she don't have no solution.
The NFL had 10 open head coaching.
And the only solution is creating your own. Create your own. I can't go to nobody's house and tell them what they're gonna do. But if I'm staying at somebody's house and I don't like how things going, I can get my own and do what I want. It's very, very simple. So let's address a few things that she said about. Let's start with Brian Flores and go back to one of the things I speak about, one of our issues in this community, that we are infected with the CRTD, the civil rights transmitted disease that was passed down from the likes of people like Martin Luther King. We always whining and crying. And so because of that, see, people don't understand, and this is another thing I try to get Black people to understand because I'm getting ready to close. They don't understand, what they do can hurt other people. So let's use Brian Flores. Brian Flores sued the NFL over so-called racism because he couldn't get a job. And now he wonder why nobody want to hire him. Man, ain't nobody, people will give you a little coordinator job just to, but nobody give, and it's believed that he talented enough. I believe he talented enough. But once you did that, you messed up. You gonna sue me and expect me now to fight for you? Absolutely not. Nobody don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole for a head coaching job because they know, man, if something happened, man, he might sue us, bro. And we just don't need that type of negativity. Again, I've been telling y'all this. I've been telling y'all this in my lives. I got videos about it. Matter of fact, I just recreated a video that they call "This is why it's about to get tough for Black people." Nobody want to deal with y'all when it comes to the workforce. because y'all bad for business. That's why I say you better have a goddamn degree. Because guess what? If you got a degree, somebody will give you a job. You still probably not gonna get a promotion because again, you're just bad for business. You're overly emotional, and that goes back into the next situation with the head coaches. You got when one black coach do something, it's just like I was speaking about the situation with the illegal aliens. Okay, you already not supposed to be here, and you got the nerve to commit crime. So again, when y'all do certain stuff as black coaches, y'all hurt. It's already hard for y'all to be a black coach. And it's not hard because y'all black. It's just, hey, these people want to hire who they want to hire. They got that right. This is their team, their business. Right? And it goes back to something I said, I think 2 lives ago. That a lot of things people black try to make out of racism, but it's not racism, it's culture. People gonna have more compassion, people gonna have more favoritism with people who look like them. And when white people do that, I support it. I don't think it's white supremacy. Because if we did that and performed nepotism with our people, we'd be doing better. But we don't know how to do that. We too much busy being in competition with each other to be able to give each other a helping hand. These people understand. Because they might not even like each other, but they'll give another person that look like them an opportunity for future references. That's what community generational wealth is all about. If my 3rd or 4th generation, if 2 generations down ruin it, guess what? It's going to always be understood that you gave me opportunity. So when my generation just so happened to blow everything, your generation up popping now, and they remember your dad gave me opportunity when I was a kid. So I'm going to make sure I give you opportunity and people who look like me so we can continue to spread that. Black people don't understand that. They're too busy stunting, flexing on their own people to understand we need to come together. But I digress. But anyway, so when one person do something, it hurt everybody. So when you have situations like I just spoke of with the Ume Udoka, which he was immediately given another shot at Houston because he's just that good of a coach, right? Brian Flores, okay, he's a decent coach, but wasn't like he went to no Super Bowl or nothing. But again, he hurt black coaches with the lawsuit thing. Now he might have temporarily gained from it, and then he ended up getting, I think, a defensive coordinator job, or he got some type of job somewhere else in the NFL, and he thought he won, and he might have did win that battle, but he didn't win the war. Because not a war is you hurt other black people that come behind you because they know, man, we hired this black coach, and he don't get the right amount of years, or he don't get whatever, he gonna play the race card and try to sue us. So we rather just stay away from that. And then when you got people like the coach, I forgot his name, Sharon in Michigan, who can't keep his dick in his pants because y'all so overly sexual. Ume Udoka, another one. That's another reason they don't want to bring y'all in their organization because y'all might end up putting y'all dick in the wrong person because y'all can't control y'all dicks. So yes, Ume Udoka won the battle because he got fired from Boston. We got another job in Houston. But he lose the war because he make, again, it harder for black people to say, you know what, let's get his black coach a chance. We don't know if he's going to sue us for racism or have sex with our wife. We just don't want him around. There's plenty white coaches. Matter of fact, we'll give J.J. Redick a shot. We'll give Mike LaFleur a shot. We'll give these white coaches a first opportunity. Again, that's not racism. They do what they want with their job. Is they racist? I don't know. But if I'm gonna judge them being racist because they hired a white rookie coach, nope. They do what they want. That's why you build your own table because you can have frogs on it and eat if that's what you want. But when you sit at somebody else's table, you gotta go wash your hands before you sit at my table. If that's what they say, and you want to sit at it, you gotta do it. That's how it goes. And so yeah, man. And I'm gonna close on that, man. But I'm gonna close with this thing here, man. The ultimate thing I'm trying to do, and I'm focused on doing with this channel, man, is making black people understand or making black people come into their king, come into their royalty. And you know, we all on social media and Everyone talking about we black kings and queens. No, you're not. You might be a black king, K-A-N-G, or a black queen, Q-U-E-A-N, but you ain't no queen, Q-U-E-A-N. I mean, you ain't no queen, Q-U-E-E-N, if you got multiple men that then skeeted in you and made children. If all a man gotta have is glitter or gold for you to sleep with it, you're not no queen. That's not queen activities. Queen activities is to be put up, wait for their husband, getting themselves together, investing in themselves, their understanding of how to be a helpmeet, their femininity, their beauty, their fitness. That's what your job is as a queen, to focus on those things. Your spirituality, getting closer to God, and God gonna send the king to find you. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, not she. That's what's wrong with a lot of these women out here today. They talking about they queen and they all this, but they looking for a man. That's not what no queen do. The queen wait for her king. And all you dudes out here talking about you kings, you not kings. You got multiple baby mamas. You'll stick your penis in anything. You don't have no dick discipline. You don't have no wisdom, no knowledge, no discernment, no relationship with God. I ain't talking about your pastor. You not no king, bro. I don't care if you got $1 trillion. That kingdom will get. You see it happening all over the world. All over these dudes' kingdom is getting kicked in because they stuck their dick in the wrong person, and now they paying so much child support. They got somebody that they basically could have been used. They got people. They got players in the league paying women $250,000 a month, 100,000. That's taken away from your kingdom. You're not no king. A king is very selective, especially where he spread his seed. And another thing about a queen, you can't even be a queen if you until you meet your king. Your king is the one who crowns you into be a king. Until that, you're a princess. Just want to add that too. But even if you consider yourself as a king, carry yourself. I mean, you consider yourself as a queen, as a young lady, at least carry yourself that way. But going back to the king, bro, you're not no king, bro. And my thing is to make black men and black women become kings in actuality and not just saying it. Be careful who we let inseminate us as the women. As men, be careful creating baby single mothers by just putting our seed everywhere. You should value your seed and yourself. You must have low value of yourself if you just spread your seed with anybody, because guess what? If you expecting to be somebody great, which a king is somebody great, all of these baby mamas gonna be entitled to something you worked hard for because you couldn't keep your penis in your pants. And I understand that nobody is perfect. This is why we gotta ask God for the Holy Spirit to come into our body, because as we know, the scripture tells us that the Holy Spirit brings it's listen, I'm paraphrasing. It says I say self discipline. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, I'm gonna find it because I'm gonna close with that scripture. Yeah, let me find that real quick. Because I'm gonna make sure I see it. That's what you gotta ask God for. Ask God for wisdom. As the scripture tells us, he will not get mad at you, he will give it to you. Yeah, he will do that because I need to. Oh, the spirit gives you the power of love, sound mind, and self-control. Let me read it from my version because I like to read it from the NLT just to make myself clear. And I'm gonna close with this. Yeah, man. Yeah, it would happen. This on January 1st. This is why I remind you to fan the flames, the spiritual gift of the Holy Spirit God gave you. For God has not given us a spirit of fear or timidity. Timidity, meaning like being, afraid. But it has given us the spirit of power, love, and self-discipline. That is 2 Timothy 1:7. And I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. On this channel, we trying to, that's what we're about, man. That's what we're about. We're about coming in our king mindset, our queen mindset, so we can obtain royalty. I thank y'all for listening to me coming out, man. I see y'all tomorrow for the BodyCam series that I got called Black People This Is Why. And Friday, I gotta take another situation. I gotta take it, so we won't have a live again this Friday. I'm sorry about that, but we will have a live stream following Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is the schedule. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless each and every one of y'all. I see y'all Monday. Bye. Bye.
I could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See, mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. You popping bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules, and we don't got hungry.